Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're back with another team outlook. This time it's the Detroit Tigers and Blake. They had a solid offseason. They did miss out on Alex Bregman. Came out afterwards too that he thought he was going there, and Red Sox swooped in. So that hurts a bit, but they did bring back Jack Flaherty. They got Tommy Kahnle. They brought in Gleyber Torres, Alex Cobb, John Brebbia, Brian Servin, and Matt Gage. They only lost Alex Fadio. They went 86 and 76 last year. Got hot to
Yep.
break their little drought of the playoffs. What was it, 10 seasons?
Yep.
Um, and they made it all the way to um, the
Yeah.
DS,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Yeah. So um, Glaber, I think, will be a good addition. Kind of crowds that infield. We'll see in a sec. And what does that mean for Spencer Torkelson is the question. Um, but Blake, how do you feel about Torres and Flaherty as being the two main pieces one going back to the Tigers and one coming in?
Yeah, I was surprised that Flaherty only got a 2-year deal coming off the year he had last year, but for the Tigers, I think it's a great fit. He kind of went to the Tigers to kind of resurrect his career, and then he ended up parlaying it into a World Series last year with the Dodgers. So, pretty good business getting him back, and they got Sweeney in the deal for Flaherty at the deadline, and now he seems like he's going to be a pretty big piece of the building. That's going on in Detroit right now. So, yeah, why don't you go over that lineup?
Yeah, it'll be Wenzel Perez, Riley Green, Gleyber Torres, Kerry Carpenter, Colt Keith, Spencer Torkelson isn't there at DH right now. Trey Sweeney, Javi Baez, and Jake Rogers on the bench. They do have Dingler, Ibanez, McKinstry, and they just signed Manuel Margot today, actually, as we're recording this video.
Yep.
So they do have Torkelson making the team. We weren't sure. They will have Parker Meadows out and Matt Vierling out to start
Yep.
the season, which kind of opened the door for Torkelson to get back into this lineup, right?
Yeah.
So um, Meadows is going to hurt
Cool.
bad.
Yep.
So, but yeah, they're a team that the offense isn't really what they're known for, and they brought in Glaber, which should help improve them. Interesting to see Javi Baez projected to play third base right now. Um, it's just been a terrible contract. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the only way you could put it, Tigers fans.
Yep.
But in that rotation, they have Tariq Skubal, Jack Flaherty, Reese Olson, Casey Mize, and Jackson Jobe. It is one of the better rotations in the game.
Yep.
In the bullpen, they have Foley, uh, Bresky, Holton, Canely, Vest, Hanafi, Brebbia, and Maeda. Maeda hasn't really worked out there. Alex Cobb, they did sign, and he's banged up. So Jose Urquidy also coming off TJ,
Yep.
um, and then Alex Lange also. It's gonna hurt not having him right away as well. So. Um, they're coming off of a team or coming off of a year, I should say, where they got back to the playoffs. But Blake, is this a team on paper? You look at them and go, they're going back to the playoffs this year.
It'll be close. Like we talked about in the Twins video, this division is wide open, like literally wide open. Probably the most wide open division in the major leagues right now. And boy, it sucks to hear that Bregman news because boy, would he look good in third base in Tigers gear right now instead of Javi Baez. Javi Baez was like in and out of the lineup last year. He's on the bench. He was starting. It just hasn't worked out. It's unfortunate. They took a swing on a contract like that and whiffed big time. But you mentioned it off the top. The addition of Gleyber Torres. I think it's obviously a deep ballpark, but I think he could be a good gap to gap hitter there. Obviously, there's some swing and miss in his game, and I'm a big fan of Riley Green. I think he's a great player in left field, and he's going to continue to transform into a core player for this team. But yeah, Parker Meadows is a huge loss. Perez is an okay filler in that lineup, but yeah, Parker Meadows is a big miss for sure.
Well, let's get to prediction time. And they have the Tigers come in second in place. Second place by about a game or two.
Yep.
It's 82 and 79 is the line. They think that's a 46% chance the Tigers will make the playoffs this year. Obviously, playing the White Sox 15 plus times helps that case. I think it potentially propelled them into the playoffs last year, if I'm being honest.
Yep.
It helped them get there, and I think this division they'll kind of beat each other up. The Guardians, we don't know what we're getting out of them yet. They're a completely different team on paper, in my opinion. But as far as the Tigers go, 83 wins. I hate to say this, Tigers fans, and I feel like it might just be a lightning in the bottle last year. I don't see, I just don't see it. And I like the young kids. Maybe it's I'm not putting enough stock into the young kids. I just think they just didn't do enough during the off season this year. I do like Labor. I do like bringing Jack Flaherty back, but we have to remember they got hot.
Oh,
They got
really hot.
hot last year, and it's going to be really hard to replicate that. And we're going to have to see them play good baseball for multiple months of the season, not just in a stretch. Um, the American League, in my opinion, is pretty weak compared to the National League, so the door is open. But if I'm going to lean, as far as 83 wins go, I think it'll be right around there, 82 to 83 wins. I'll go ahead and take the over. I'll take the 83. Um, but I think they're just going to miss the playoffs.
I'm going to take the under on their wins. I'm going to pick on the miss the playoffs, and you hit the nail on the head. They needed one more impact bat, like a Santander or a Bregman in this lineup, and this outlook is looking completely different if they added one of those big bats. So, um, obviously you have the Triple Crown winner in Tariq Skubal, manning that rotation, and then you got Flaherty behind him and Jackson Jobe, who kind of bursted on the scene for them in the playoffs last year. We'll see what we get from him in a full season in a Tigers uniform. So it's they're going to be close to make the playoffs, but I think they just fall a little short.
Yep. Well, that's going to do it for this one. If you like this video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe. As always, we appreciate you guys for listening and watching. We'll see you on the next one. Later.